Welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's going on?
Derek, we are with our friends with Open Arms Rescue, and we have a lot to discuss and go over.
Absolutely.
So we should essentially dive right in. However, we're going to introduce everyone first because we have a small gathering now outside. So everybody want to introduce themselves?
Sure. My name's Nicole. I'm with Open Arms Rescue.
My name is Cindy.
My name is Holly.
And my name is Kathy.
Perfect. So the four of you, are you the four pillars of the organization?
Yes.
Yeah. Are there other people that work for you as well?
There are.
Yeah. How many people total?
Oh, geez.
So I would say there's 4 board members, right?
Okay.
Or 3, between 3 and 4. And then on top of that, a bunch of fosters.
Yes,
and
we have a lot of volunteers.
Yeah.
I would say probably a little bit over 100. Probably about 30 to 40 fosters. Not everyone is into it as the others, but we have a good group.
Sure.
That's awesome. So your core group is comprised of all volunteer, like you said, and then there are also non-paid members. So the non-paid members who have years of animal and rescue experience, how did you find these people? Did they find you, or did you find them?
I would say they find us. I think animal lovers stick together.
Yeah.
They stick together?
Animal lovers stick together, yeah. And
Okay.
they find each other. And if it's in your heart, you do it.
Awesome.
I think like another good point is I knew Cindy outside of the rescue, and I saw what she was doing, and I was an animal lover, but like just seeing what these girls were doing before I got into it was just like, whoa, like you see these animals come off of a bus, and then in 2 weeks they turn into a whole different animals, and I was like, wow, I want to be a part of it. So I think it also, if you see the people or your friends and family are into it, it kind of pulls you more into it. Because some people, even if you're animal lovers, don't really know what goes behind rescue. So just seeing it, I think that's a whole nother grab to people as well.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
So you were friends with Cindy.
Yeah, and not even like we were super close. I just, we were friends from just where we lived, and we got way closer from this, which is another great thing about the rescue and volunteering is now on top of it, I'm helping dogs, but I have almost a family behind it. Everyone really supports each other, which is why people, I think, also reach out, because now you have a whole new friend group.
Sure, absolutely. Are you guys all do stuff with animals outside of this rescue too, or what is your normal day-to-day like?
So I only strictly work with Open Arms Rescue. Not to say that if somebody else didn't need help that
Sure.
we don't, because we've all helped each other out in rescue. But specifically, you find your group, and there's enough dogs to help where we have, So that's the only reason why it's specifically OAR for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
We do help other rescues. We've actually called upon other rescues to help us, and it works the same way throughout. So we do network. But I know a few of our fosters also foster kittens. They foster other animals. I know that a few of our fosters have ducks, different animals. So, once you're an animal lover, I don't think they discriminate.
Right.
So
do you primarily deal with dogs or cats also, or what type of animals?
Primarily dogs.
Primarily dogs, okay.
But it's hard to say no when an animal's in need.
Absolutely.
So I've helped everything from a chinchilla to birds to rabbits
Wow.
to you name it.
I haven't.
Pigs.
Pigs?
Pigs.
I haven't heard about a chinchilla since like 3rd grade.
So,
that's
one of my
amazing.
favorite rescues that I ever did, I talk about all the time, was in a upstairs apartment in Cheektowaga. And we got called because the woman had passed away. And when we walked in, she had 2 potbelly pigs, a senior pit bull, a bunch of little dogs, a couple chinchillas, a couple birds, a rabbit. I might be forgetting something, but it was one of the most memorable rescues I've done. When I walked in this little apartment, the potbelly pigs were sitting on a love seat with a senior pit bull.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And we found homes for everybody. Everybody found a home. I still see the pigs on our not daily, but on a regular basis.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So your volunteers include a certified dog trainer, a local business owner, community members, and then loving foster families who all share a common goal. Your mission is to rescue dogs of all breeds and ages from either local surrender situations or shelters to place them into loving forever homes. your quote also says that you're 100% pro spray and neuter rescue. So how did the organization begin in terms of initial idea or the person to start the process? Like, who was that?
That was me.
Okay.
Not just me, obviously, but many years ago, myself and some other people got together and we formed a group and started doing it. And it just grew and grew. And, you know, some of the members left and more came in. And we've been going on for about 15 years now.
15 years. Wow.
So how does somebody start something like this?
Well, I was doing a lot of rescue locally and just all at my own expense. And somebody came to me and said, you know, you're doing this. Why don't you get together, form a 501c3, get a group, and save more animals? So that's what we did.
Right.
So speaking on the 501c3, I wanted to say it correctly because there's a lot of things happening there. That's essentially, you're funded solely on donations and fundraising. So does that mean that if someone listening donates to your organization, is it a tax write-off for that person?
It definitely is.
Okay. So what's the process to get that status?
Oh, geez.
You have to go through the IRS.
Okay.
You have to apply for that.
A lot of
Okay.
paperwork.
lot of
So
paperwork.
you apply through the IRS and then you fill out packets on packets on packets, and then once it's finally approved, then you obviously tell the world because that's worth posting
Yes,
about.
make sure
Okay.
your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, and then you might get it.
So how would somebody donate to you guys?
There's many ways, right?
So we have a Venmo now that has
Oh.
made it really easy. You know, especially times are changing. People carry their wallet less and checkbook less, and so that was kind of a recent thing. We kind of got on that within the last year and a half, you'd say.
Yeah.
So Venmo
Maybe
is a big
less,
way. We,
yeah.
we do accept cash and check donations. We just have to make sure if it is cash that we're writing a receipt. Obviously, if it was going to be a tax write-off for somebody, but somebody can use their Venmo transaction for their write-off purposes as well as the receipt for their check. If it was going to be that way. Those are the three most popular that I would. PayPal we do have as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through our homepage, there's if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a donate button, and you can donate through our PayPal on there. We also accept, if someone, if their dog has outgrown things, we also accept, their dog beds, old leashes and collars and things like that. We have an Amazon page where we have a wish list. What else?
Chewy, if you have animals at home
Chewy.
and you register us through Chewy, just part of each purchase will come to us. So that's really a great way.
Yep.
That's kind of a newer thing that we're working with, and just making sure that we keep that. So definitely a bunch of different ways to donate to the rescue, and even things like old blankets. I mean, we want them washed, but preferably, but we'll take anything,
Yeah,
But
or,
but things that you don't
crates
think about,
and- yeah.
crates.
Crates are one
Absolutely.
thing that we can never have.
We love hand
too many of.
Okay.
Crates.
So now, for everybody watching, they're probably looking at us outside in a parking lot right now. You guys don't necessarily have a building, do you?
No,
No, we
we're
do not have
No.
a structure.
We're
So-
strictly foster based.
So
we
where are
don't
all?
have a structure.
Okay, so where are all the dogs right now that need help?
In homes.
In homes still? Nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's like the best part. Really, we get a transport in, I'd say twice a month. Once a month, right? I could be pushing it over here, but
Sometimes it's twice a month.
but right off
yeah.
of the bus.
Depends on what the needs are.
Right. We definitely have gotten a few in between. But our fosters will come meet up at a specific location. We'll just say, hey, we have a transport coming in. Are you available? And if they say yes, we give them a meetup time, and the dogs go right from the time that they get to New York right into a home. And then they're quarantined for 2 weeks just to make sure that they're healthy and happy, and that we can take the time to get to know the dog so we can place them properly. So I think that's the best part is they don't go into another kennel. They don't go into another cage.
Right.
They go right to a home that wants them, So I think that's kind of one of the best things about us.
And we do that specifically so they can get a head start on socialization and potty training and get brought up to date on vaccinations and, crate, I think I already said crate training, but
Do you partner with a local animal hospital or any local organizations to help you guys out at all?
we do work with a couple of specific vets, but we, there's still vet bills.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So who's behind that process of like the dog on the bus? Like, is it just a greyhound, or like is that coordinated all through you guys, or like does the other state contact you direct? Like, what's the process to receive a dog?
So I am the girl that talks to a rescue in Tennessee. That's where we get a lot of our dogs from, ones that we don't get locally. And she'll send me pictures like, can you take this? Can you take that? Can you take this dog? Can you take that dog? Can you take this pregnant dog? Can you take this litter? You know, and that's basically how it happens, is that she asks me and we accept it, and then they get this big bus basically full of dogs one day, and they all come to us, and we
And it's
get
usually a volunteer from
all
down there
volunteers,
that, that drives, correct?
that drives them down, and there could be up to 40 or 50 on that bus.
And we don't turn anyone away.
We
We
don't.
take the elderly dogs.
We are not
take,
cherry pickers. We
Yeah, that was
take-
my question. You guys don't ever turn anyone away?
No.
Nah,
Any
well,
dogs?
I mean, we like them to be social,
Sure.
because all of our fosters have other dogs for the most part,
And children.
or children, or
Cats.
cats, you know, and whatnot. So we try to get them to be social coming in, but sometimes we get little surprises. So you
Sure.
might have to move a foster right away, but for the most part, they're good to us. And like, you know, we take seniors, we take tripods, we take a dog that might have a problem with the eye, and we'll go ahead and have surgery on it to have it removed. We take pregnant dogs, pregnant
A lot of
dogs, and
moms
more
lately,
pregnant
yeah.
dogs. Yeah, we had our last month. How many did we have? I bet we had 8 dogs that were either pregnant, gonna give birth, or came with puppies.
Wow.
They do receive a health certificate. They do see a vet and receive a health
Yes.
certificate, you know, before they
Heartworm
travel.
tested before
Yeah.
they travel. All of them had a high possibility that they would have been euthanized if they'd have stayed in Tennessee, which is why we pull from them.
Down south, a lot of times, if just for being a pit bull, they'll get euthanized.
Yeah, they're
That's
not
terrible.
allowed in a
If
lot
they
of
need
counties.
space, it doesn't matter if it's an 8-week-old puppy. If they need that kind
Oh,
of for
pregnant
something
mom,
else,
right?
Yep.
they'll put it on the euthanasia list.
Pregnant mom, purebred Dalmatian, it doesn't matter.
So
if
do you
they
see
need space.
do you see more pit bulls then just because of that, or are the breeds pretty spaced out?
I mean, we definitely see a lot of pit bulls, but I would say it's pretty
Okay.
spaced out. I wouldn't say it's all.
It's funny,
Pit
we
bulls.
had a spurt there where
Yeah,
it was
we
all
did.
pit bulls.
We did have a
I mean,
spurt,
we had like
yeah.
3 months where they were out, and we love pit bulls. We love them.
Oh yeah.
We
But
love
we
'em.
just got a lot of border collies. We just had a purebred Dalmatian.
Yep, purebred
So
shepherd.
it's not like we don't
purebred
see
labs.
purebreds.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know.
Doodle.
Doodle. I mean, we get a little bit of everything. I always say when I explain it to people, we get anything from a Chihuahua to a Great Dane, and everything
So
in
true.
between.
Which we've
Yeah.
had a lot of Great
Yeah, a
Danes
lot of Great
too
Danes.
in the
Really?
last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think that's the thing that people don't understand when you want to jump to a breeder, is that if you just give it some time and you fill out the application and you want a purebred German Shepherd, well, it might not be tomorrow, but we're gonna do our best to find you one,
Sure.
because
Right.
we want you to adopt through us before we want you going to a
Or
breeder.
any,
That's
or any
Absolutely.
rescue.
or any
Yes.
right.
Without,
rescue in general.
without going to a
And,
breeder.
yeah, any
Sure.
rescue, absolutely. We're so we want to do that. So if we get one and we see your application, we're going to do our best to match you. So it might not be next month or the month after, but we've matched plenty of homes to purebred
Absolutely.
dogs if that's
Yeah.
what you're looking for.
So filling out that application portion, what type of background check or check on the person doing the adopting is there done? Is that through you guys as well, or do you use a contracted?
Nope, that's all us.
Wow.
So yeah, absolutely. We have a group of probably 7 or 8 volunteers that work on applications. Application process now, especially during COVID, we ask for home photos, and usually we could do home visits, but obviously we're not gonna stop adoptions
Sure.
because of what's going on. And so we ask for home photos, we ask for a vet reference. I'd say those are definitely the most 2 important, personal reference, and we go from there. Obviously, there's a whole list of fenced-in yard, and not to say you can't adopt with a fenced-in yard, but certain dogs need certain things, so we do our best to match there. And then we go through everything and
Meet and greets if they
meet and
have
greets.
another dog.
Yep.
Make sure they're a good fit for the family,
Sure.
because not every dog's going to be a good fit. You might think I want that dog in the worst way, and it might meet you and be like,
I don't want you in the worst way.
Which is the most heartbreaking
he's got a
realization that
beard,
sometimes
and
they
a
don't
guy
like me.
I remember wasn't nice to me had a
Absolutely.
beard, you know? I mean,
Yeah,
Sure.
that's
that's
the
what
truth.
we deal with sometimes,
Sure.
you know? Some dogs don't like men.
Right.
Some dogs don't like women. Some dogs don't like children. Or other dogs.
What is
Okay.
that noise?
That is the fire. Fire
Oh,
hall.
interesting.
Yeah,
Well-
there is a fire truck going out right now. So that's calling all the firemen in. You're not from the country.
No.
You are in the country.
Love it.
You're in Akron.
So for the adoption process, since we're on it, obviously the process can be overwhelming, like you were saying. Just give it time, fill out the paperwork, go through the process. But your website does a good job of laying out a 5-step process for the specific adoption. Can you go through that process that's on the website, just so that people understand like the clear picture of how to do it if they were willing to?
Yeah, you want to take that one?
Go for it, Cindy.
So the most important thing I would say is to, if you're just thinking about rescuing a dog, is submit your application. Fill it out according to the directions on the application. Submit your pictures. Just because you're submitting pictures doesn't mean you're not going to have a home visit done. It's just preliminary steps. You know, call your vet. We have to have access to your vet records. Don't forget about doing that. We need that information. It's very important. Answer all the questions to the best of your ability. Look for the emails that we're sending you. Don't forget about us. We need to have your cooperation, or we can't finish processing your application.
Sure.
And like Nicole said, be patient. You know, it's wonderful when we post pictures of dogs that everyone falls in love with them immediately. Puppies are cute, dogs are beautiful, but that's really not how you're going to choose a dog. You know, you've got to meet them and form a connection with them and make sure they have a connection, excuse me, with you as well. I think that's the most important part. Don't be frustrated because there's 1,500 other people out there with you that are also falling in love with that dog. We're a large rescue. We have 30,000 followers on Facebook. And honestly, we're a great group. We have a lot of hard workers, and I know to our followers it may not seem it at sometimes, but we're working hard, and we're working hard to keep up on the applications. Keep at it. Don't lose hope. There's always going to be, it's rescue, and unfortunately there's always going to be another dog.
Right.
So do your part, complete your application, keep in touch with us, you know, submit all the information requested, and this is what we do, this is what we love. We want to find you a dog because we want these dogs to find wonderful homes. That's our passion. That's what we want. That's what we want for our dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I got off topic there a little bit.
That's passion,
But it's
Cindy.
it's all of our passion. It really is. It's
Because
what
we
we
rescue
do.
with our hearts.
Absolutely.
You know. So complete the application. Keep in touch with us. Look for the emails. That's really the best. That's really the best. It's really the best
Yeah.
that I can give you.
Absolutely. And I think, to be honest, it's easy, it's straightforward. You know, the
It
process
really
isn't
is,
scary as
yeah.
long as, you know, you do exactly what Cindy says. And it's pretty straightforward. It's not, you have to think, oh, I'm going to get a dog. It's going to be so overwhelming. Like, we walk you through everything. We
Yeah.
help you. Especially then when you get the dog, we help. You know, we're not just like,
Yeah, we're
gone.
never a rescue that's like, oh, you've adopted a dog. Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, right.
We're never that rescue. And I mean, I really don't know of any rescues locally that is that rescue.
No.
But we want our dogs to find great homes.
Do you do follow-ups with the families after they adopt it all?
We do.
Okay.
We do, and I think a lot of us, we give out our own personal cell phone numbers because, as we discussed earlier, we don't have a structure, which means we don't have a telephone.
Sure.
So, I mean, we always make ourselves available. So,
We might check in more than people want to.
We also,
Like, send me
we
a
also
picture of a
reach out
puppy.
and check in to make sure that everyone has their appointment scheduled for their spay and neuter, because we are very, very, very stern on that.
Sure.
yeah.
They have
If
to
they're
be,
not already done.
Yes, they
Yeah.
have to be altered by 6 months. That's just our protocol. That's the way we work. A lot of people try to say, well, my vet told me this, or my trainer told me that.
Yeah.
Unless
That's right in our
unless it's
contract.
a major medical issue, that's something that we are very prominent on being done.
Sue, who's been with our rescue forever, she runs our spay and neuter program. So, I mean, she'll help you make appointments. So, like Holly said, we don't stray from that.
So in 2018, you guys rescued over 400 dogs, and your goal was to surpass that in 2019. So was that goal surpassed?
Absolutely,
Yep.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
it was up around 600.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, if not
Yeah,
more.
if
I
not
don't
more.
know the
Yeah.
specific number, but
So about
I know so far
650.
this
Would,
year-
but around 600.
Okay.
Yeah.
so far this year we're already over 400.
Wow. Okay.
And it's
Rising
Yeah.
Yeah.
dramatically.
July.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
to think
we
what
s-
month it was. Yeah, only during a pandemic, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people reached out to Foster because they, had time to actually do it. So we're like, all right, more the
Bring
merrier.
them in.
Let's
Yeah.
save as many as we can right now.
Do you get a lot of repeat people coming back to adopt more?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And how have you not adopted all of them for yourself?
Well, a lot of our towns have limits.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think that's probably
I
the
did not
only
know that.
thing saving most of our fosters.
That was her answer.
Yeah.
The only reason why is because
Yes,
there's a limit.
if I didn't live here, I'd be in big trouble. Like the village has 3, the town of Newstead has 4, and
did not know
each
that.
count. Some have no limits,
Right.
but most have a limit.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes, the reason why they come up with a limit is because let's say a neighbor didn't like that they had 10 dogs.
Right.
Sure.
Or they're not licensed, or they just keep breeding, and there's a reason why they have
Yeah.
limits
Sure.
to control.
Right.
So getting people involved with your charity and providing ways to help seems to be a challenge up front for people that are not familiar with your organization, because you do a lot in the community by hosting different events and things like that, and you're very upfront with how you guys go about your process, right? So there's something special in place that's called the 7 Surprising Ways to Donate, one of which was a wedding registry, which I had no idea about, where instead of registering at like Bed Bath & Beyond, they can register with you guys, and then
Oh.
someone can donate to you directly on your website instead of registering at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Wow.
Just so that if somebody has the same old vase from like the sinking of the Titanic, instead of having that collect dust in some cabinet, they can just spend that money and donate to
Donate.
you guys. So what else is there so that people can better understand those other options?
Nicole?
No. Just start naming each other. Anybody?
I'm like, shoot.
For us, it is those main ones that we've talked about. I think we could always grow and be better and find the new and improved way to make it easier for people to donate, or convenient, because there are people that want to and maybe don't know how. And so definitely our biggest thing is going to be the Amazon wish list and Chewy and
Some people, speaking of weddings, instead of doing favors on the table, we take puppies
I was going to say you
Yeah.
did
to
a
the
couple of
beginning.
those
I've
last
done
year,
a couple
didn't
of
you?
them where you bring puppies to the beginning cocktail hour. So they get cute pictures with the wedding party with puppies and such. And then they donate to us, which is kind of fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
and our events. We throw some
Oh, yeah.
banging events.
Yeah. We
So
do.
I think that's another great thing. Come out, come support when we give back just as much as people are giving us. It's always a great time.
Right.
So come out with your family or your husband or your boyfriend, friend, whoever. We always, last year, I think a big event for us was Oktoberfest. We did a whole themed and
Sure.
pretzels and music
And the
and,
meat raffle.
band,
Yeah.
meat raffle. So I think that's the most fun for us too, is then we get to kind of interact with people who want to interact with us too, and they can learn more from there, and we can kind of be around people that adopted from us and ask and see pictures, and I think that's kind of one of the most fun things that we
Absolutely.
do.
Are there local businesses that support you guys directly that are in the Buffalo and Western New York area, or like partners, kind of in a sense that you like always seem to just always work with?
I don't know about partners, but I will say that everybody in this community in the town of Newstead / the local reservation and whatnot, if I ask for donations, they are very, very generous.
Right.
Okay.
But I do a lot of work here.
Lori
do a lot
from
of work.
Avanti has always been real good
Yes,
with us.
yes,
when we do our
yes.
when
She's amazing, yes.
we did our
the Avanti's Mansion.
Oktoberfest there. We did a meat raffle there.
Yep.
We were
So
actually
she's
going to
always
have
very,
an
very
event this
giving.
year, the Hoedown,
but
but
that got
unfortunately
kinda
that's
pushed
not
by the
going to happen
wayside,
because,
so-
you know,
Yeah, we were supposed
Corona.
to do a hold down. That was
And she's in
a big country
Williamsville?
bash.
Where is
You
it?
guys know where.
Yeah, Avanti's in Blaisdell.
Okay.
Yep.
Blaisdell.
So you essentially reach out to a business, and then
Yes.
they're more times than not
Yeah.
never going to say no.
No.
Right. Okay. So Avanti's been one to say yes, and then
Avanti's
everybody.
is amazing.
Okay.
They've been
Amazing.
always very
Yes.
good to us.
They actually give us the
Venue.
venue and right, just everything. She's
We've had
just
a number.
Really amazing.
We've had a number of.
They adopted through us,
Oh, okay.
so she's been super, super, super generous.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a number of people that we reach out to when we have big events like that. That have donated different things to us, whether it's cash or.
But on a day to day, I feel like it's not really certain partnerships. It's more like when we have events and are doing fundraising.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So where can people find you on social media, and like, what would be your handle that people can search to find you?
So we have Instagram, which is OARWNY. We also have our Facebook, which is going to be the most like up to date. We got very outdoor things going on over here. Our Facebook is going to be our most up to date. It's where we list all our new puppies coming in, our events, anything like that is going to be definitely on our Facebook, and that's OARWNY as well. You can also search Open Arms Rescue on Facebook, and our website is a great tool as well, especially when we were talking about donations or finding out the application. Everything is going to be there that you're going to need. I definitely think those are our most used
three,
platforms for sure.
Okay.
Very
Cool.
nice.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that we came out to you guys as well is we wanted to make a donation for the shirts that we have on right now. So for all of our listeners, we have the new Buffalo Happy Hour shirt that says "Whiskey makes it all better," and we just wanted to come here to talk to you guys, understand your process, and then also to let our listeners know that all or a portion of the proceeds that we make from these shirts are going directly to your organization as well, because we're huge dog lovers. We both have dogs, and it's something that we truly believe in.
Thank
That's
you
amazing.
So much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you
guys.
for
How
choosing us.
great.
Yeah, thank you.
So what kind of dogs do you guys have on a more personal level? Because you have to have dogs, right?
Right. I think we're all dog people. I have a little fluffy, Shih Tzu mix. So that's kind of my jam is like the smaller dogs. But just one because just one for now.
Because she fosters.
It's what it is, and I
She
just
saves
get,
the room for
I
foster.
do.
okay.
I
It's
do.
all
I
right.
do.
Good for you. Good for
You gotta
you.
love them all. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I just keep getting them. Once you get another one, then you're gonna get another one. I'm trying to tame myself here.
Yeah.
Do you get sad though when you foster them because they got to go back, right?
My first time, I cried like a baby, like couldn't catch your breath, just like your world was shaking. Like, what did I do? But after that, and after you see how amazing they do in these families, and the kids are so excited to have a puppy or a dog, and then you're just like, all right, I'm ready for the next one to grow and be different and move on to a family or be better, or whatever that might be. But yeah, I think that's the best part. Once you see them turn into a whole different dog,
Sure.
it kind of makes it worth it.
Yeah.
You can let them go a little easier.
Especially when you do that meet and greet and then they just turn into this happy, wiggly, especially when you have, because I've had a lot of dogs that have been used for breeding and they're very shy. They hide behind the couches for quite a while and, they're not familiar with anyone. And I'm like, okay, well, the first meet and greet's going to be at my house. And then the second one, we'll bring them to your house,
Sure.
but don't count on anything. And then they're like this dog where they're like, oh my gosh, this is my home. I love it here. Don't ever take me away. And those are the ones that really yank at your heart. You're like, wow, I love you and I want you to stay, but this right here
Is
is
your
this
home?
is gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
awesome.
And I always say, when the dog or puppy leaves, if it doesn't take a little bit of your heart with them, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah,
tell
it's-
all the new fosters
Yeah.
that
We
too.
Yeah, because you're doing it because you love them and you bring them into your home and you love them and take care of them like they were your own. So when you let them go, they're gonna take a little piece of you with them.
How
Love
long is
them
the
like-
foster program normally?
We quarantine for 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks.
So at least 2 weeks, and that's a puppy that stays healthy.
Sure.
That's a dog that's ready after 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is
The minimum.
the minimum.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not. I have one I've had for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
He still hides.
He
Still
had a
hides.
hard life
He's-
before he came
yeah,
to Kathy.
he-
So
yeah, he's just not adoptable. But if anybody wants
Oh, well,
him,
just got to keep them then.
Yeah, that's sad. I
I'm
guess
not
you're
going
just
anywhere
gonna
right
let 'em-
now.
Cindy, how about you? Do you have any dogs?
I do. I have 2 German Shepherd Maxes and a Lab Max.
Oh, okay.
And I do the paperwork end, but I fostered once because we were short on fosters, and she stayed.
Failed. That's called
Foster
foster fail.
So you guys are essentially the bridge between saving the dog's life and then finding its forever home. And then for some people, probably like me, it's going to be extremely difficult to be that bridge because I just want all the dogs. I want the end scene of 101 Dalmatians where I have 400 dogs in some
Yes.
massive pasture and I just get swarmed by puppy kisses every day.
Yeah, we
So-
all talk about if we ever won the lottery, that would be our dream. Would build this huge
Sanctuary.
Yeah.
We'll have
We
a
save
visitor
'em
center
all.
because I'll be there.
Overnight
Visitor center.
stays.
Yeah, have a B&B.
Holly, what about you? Do you have any dogs?
I do. I have a golden retriever, and then I have one that I actually foster failed. She was my 27th. I counted up until
27th,
then.
wow.
After that, I stopped counting.
Yeah.
She is supposedly a lab golden retriever Rottweiler mix, according to her DNA.
Wow.
And then I currently have 4 beagle puppies right now that are in foster. So my house is full.
Good for you. Good for you. And I know you have 3. So what?
Well, I have 2 boxers.
Okay.
And then I have
Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky, who's been with me for how long? I don't know. I didn't realize it was that
2
long
years-
until
2
somebody
years of this
pointed it
June.
out. They're like, you've had him. I said I've had him about 6-7 months. They're like, it's going on 2 years. And I'm like, oh, really? It's been that long? But I still, literally, he sleeps with me in my bed. But if I were to try and pet him,
Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
yeah, he was very traumatized as a puppy.
We're not going to get into that because then I'll cry. And I didn't even have a drink yet. So we'll wait.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
So what would be next for you guys? Like, what is the next step for your organization?
Just keep on rescuing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
keep on trucking
Keep
along.
on rescuing. Keep on doing what we do.
What's the goal for next year then, since you have already 700 or 600 this year?
I think we might surpass that.
Yeah.
Man, the
I guess our
virus
goal would be
with the pandemic.
yeah.
More
We-
people staying at
that's-
home.
Yeah.
More people
It
wanting
was
dogs.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping it all works out with all those people that adopted during the
Yes.
pandemic.
right, yeah. So that
It's
was
a
going to be a
concern.
question too.
We
concern.
doubled up on our questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? What's the plan if you're only home
After.
1 or 2 hours? What do you plan to do when you go back to work? How are you sure that you're not going to surrender this puppy or dog when you do return to work? What's the plan for the hour with the increase in hours?
Is there a season that the adoptions go up, like around holiday time or anything like that, because people feel like they
Well,
need to get a
yeah.
dog for Christmas?
I mean, in the South, people get the dogs for Christmas, and then they'll get rid of them because they want to go on an Easter vacation.
right.
Yeah.
Which is
Or
terrible.
they don't want to deal with them on 4th of July when all the fireworks go off.
Right,
So
I mean-
there's lines at the shelter.
My dog sleeps during fireworks. That's like the worst reason in the world to get rid of a dog. That like a vacation or fireworks.
be
like,
surprised.
Insane, isn't it?
Come
But
on.
you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for boarding. I'll surrender my dog. I'll just get another
Yeah,
one down
you'd
the
be
road.
surprised.
Oh, so what kind of dogs do you guys have?
Yes.
I have an English
please.
Bull Terrier,
Nice.
and she's my life. She's 5 years old. I love her so much. She barks every episode that we record at my house.
We do,
So yeah, you can always hear her.
She's a constant feature, but that's okay. And then I have a about to be 4-year-old English Yellow Lab, and he's also my best friend. And my fiance yells because he's definitely my dog. And if I was a dog, personality-wise, like we're one and the same. There's no doubt about it.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
That's
it's a
awesome.
super good time.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So 1 for now, and then probably 15 later. It's fine. I
Well,
won't
you
worry
know
about
where
it.
to find
fine,
us.
we're
Just a
fine.
small
Everything's
jump.
fine.
Just a small jump.
Yeah, just a
I
small
mean,
job.
I had a litter of labs, and it was every color. We had a silver, we had a yellow, we had black, we had them all. A whole litter of labs right here, locally.
Mm-hmm.
One more beautiful than the next.
So
I mean, we get them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It makes me so happy.
yeah.
I say all the time, we don't deserve dogs. Dogs are just way too nice, and they're way too
right.
perfect for us. And
That's the
there's just
truth.
some terrible people out there, and humans just don't deserve dogs. They're the
No.
best.
Especially when you have a bad day and then they greet you with like the biggest, corniest smile and their tails go. It's just the best. Just like you said, there's
You
nothing
could be
better
mad.
than
You
that.
could be mad at them. They could have
Yeah.
just like tore
Care
up
less.
your pillow, whatever,
Yep.
ruined your favorite shoes, and you could be mad at them, and you walk away, and you come back, and they're like,
Shoot
"You're
through your
not still
base
mad at
doors.
me." 'Cause I love
Do
you.
the little side wiggle.
I love you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, you're not mad, are you?
Well, I
they're,
am, but
they're the most
maybe not
forgiving.
so
You know,
much
I'm like,
now.
ugh. But they were my favorite shoes, and I don't think I can replace them. Ugh.
It's tough. So we talked about your events being on hold, obviously, from what's going on. But what would be the next scheduled event if things start panning out? Is there one scheduled, or do you have to still work
We
on
actually have one on Sunday.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes.
An
We
outdoor event.
Yes. And obviously, yes. Thank you. An outdoor event is listed on our Facebook page.
Okay. That's where all the events normally are listed, is on the Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay.
We're starting slow. I mean, we've had a few. We
Canceled due to weather, or we're just trying to do the best we can. Make
we
sure.
will be at Samuel's next Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
At the food truck Wednesday.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Food truck in the garden.
So how does someone get? Is it like a ticket?
Nope.
Or how does you just
Just
show up?
Just show up.
It's just all welcome.
Yeah,
It's
everybody's
just a block
welcome.
party.
Yeah.
That's
You
amazing.
have
guess
to.
we're
So you're
going.
coming?
Yeah.
What people don't understand is they have to be pre-approved prior to the event if they think they're
can't just
taking
come
home
and
a
get a
puppy.
puppy.
Gotcha.
A lot of people do that. They show up and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I want to take this puppy home. We're sorry, but you need
Well,
an approved
we're not
application
selling-
Yeah,
first."
there's
we're not
like
selling
welcome to the real
puppies.
world.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have to know
Yeah.
where you live, if you have other pets. We have to know. We have to know everything. We have to make sure it's going to a good home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
With altered pets,
Yes.
at
Yeah.
home. That's another big
Yes.
thing. Is even if you adopt it through somebody else or you went to a breeder, we do require everybody to be altered. So that's a big thing that we look for and why we need vet records, along with the numerous other things you have to do as a dog owner, right? But we check on that as well.
Now, all of you are wearing open arm shirts, too.
Yes.
Are people able to buy them? Or
Yes.
do you just, okay,
Yes.
how do you buy them? Through your website?
Kind of.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So we're kind of starting to do more of the shirts. So we have somebody who's a volunteer as well making them. They're beautiful. We definitely have a link on Amazon for a fundraiser going on that's posted to our Facebook page. And then we have, like I said, a volunteer who's making them. And those can be available on our Facebook page as well. It's mostly just like a comment, and then we'll reach out and kind of work on it that way.
Sure.
So not a direct order form yet, but,
Yeah.
we got time to
We just
work on
started
all
dipping
that.
our toes
Back
in,
in,
Okay.
yeah.
in that because we really haven't had a volunteer that's free enough to sit here and make T-shirts and stuff. So we're kind of just getting.
But we are taking them to most of our events.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's another
So if you
good
were to
point.
come to an event, you could shop.
How much are they?
T-shirts, $20.
Okay.
Sweatshirts, $30.
I love
Good
it.
to know. Good
Nice
to
and
know.
easy. Whole numbers.
Yes.
We even have a couple koozies. You could buy a
we
koozie
have
for a buck.
koozies. We have drink.
The cups
Like
with
an
straws.
opener?
Yeah.
Like a
No.
bottle opener?
Nope.
Like a Yeti,
You
but
wanna-
not a Yeti.
Yeti, not
Yes.
a Yeti.
Yeah, hashtag not a sponsor.
Trying to like plug things.
Please,
I know. I'm like, oh shoot.
please be a sponsor.
We didn't say Yeti.
Please be a sponsor.
All
Applying
right.
for it.
I have tried numerous times. They never reply to my emails.
Oh, that's
Oh man.
Well, maybe now. Just reply to an email. Yeah, grow up. So that's fine.
But
Well,
anyways, what the heck? What are they called? We can't. None of us
It's
can
just-
think of it.
it's
It's
just
just
like
a
a
water
little-
bottle.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're-
Oh, a reusable.
Like an insulated water bottle? Is that what we're
Travel
not
mug?
thinking of?
They're tin,
Travel.
right?
Yeah, they're
A travel mug.
Aluminum.
Ay, ay, ay.
Go come to our events and find
Yeah.
out.
There you go.
There you
You
go.
can bring whatever you want it. You drink.
We'll tease it. We have these awesome drink cups.
It
You can come
doesn't
get.
have to be water in there.
So speaking of that, we should all enjoy a cocktail. We appreciate all your time. Thank you for everything. If anybody still wants a T-shirt from us to donate, we still have some available. We have small, mediums, and then 1 or 2 larges now. We're out of XLs and we're out of double XLs. So we appreciate all your time, seriously, and we cannot wait to link up for the donation because we donate once everything is sold. So once everything is sold, then we'll donate, and we are very excited for that.
Awesome. So are we.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you
are
guys
we.
so
Thank
much.
you so
Thanks,
much
guys.
Sweet.
Very
Very
fun.
open arms.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.